Thank you, Art, and good to see everyone tonight. Some of you is this afternoon. I hope that you're feeling great. It is a busy few days ahead of us. We've only got Black Week and building up now to Black Friday, one time per year. So it is definitely a time where we need to make sure that we make the most out of it. To just start off with the end on Sunday, you're gonna wake up, hopefully with a smile, hopefully very excited about your new rank up and so on. But after you've done that, you're all of a sudden gonna say, okay, so the people that didn't buy from me, all the potential customers in my team that didn't take on the offer, the number one reason why they didn't take the offer was that they had no idea that we had an offer. We're such a small company in such a big world, and there is so many people around you that if they knew they could have this on half price for the starting kit and then commit to 6 months for their health in 2025, they would take on that offer in a split second. If they knew what the product is doing for them, they would actually be calling you right now, asking you if you have a Black Friday offer. But because they don't know, they're not going to do that. And if they don't get to know during next 6 days, including today, they're not going to consider it even, and they're going to spend their money somewhere else. Now, hopefully they've got some money left in December, so you get them then, but the very best from them would be that we reach them in time. So that means there is a bit of urgency, not only on ranking up, but there is an urgency on getting your customer or potential customers the best deal. So Artie might already have covered this. I came in after 10, 11 minutes, so he might have covered some of the stuff already, but just sharp things to think about. Your new list, so who are the ones that you have never talked to? Number two, in pipeline, who are the ones you've talked to, but they haven't said yes, they haven't said no. Number three, or they did mention that to upsell the ones that are on one product that should be on three products, maybe four products, maybe five products. And in that, my secret for this week is upsell them to a prepaid because then your rank moves so much quicker. So even though it's a little bit short-term thinking, they get an even better deal and you get a much better deal, especially when it comes to rank advancement. That we do not have the prepaids in the US if you're listening in from the US, but in all the other countries we do. And then the customers that you have, they probably don't know that they could share the products with a few friends and family, and then they would have every month for free going forward in our Zinzino for free program. So if you have the time to update your customers on that they can have the products for free, they might be sharing it. And if they share it, then this is when they get it for free for the least work. And you get all the commissions, and it helps you ranking up this week as well. So now we got started with this team about it's closing up on a year. I think that 1st of March really is when it's a year, or maybe we should count from February, depending on how we look at it.
Pretty much March.
But February was so busy, so much struggle, so much drama. January was maybe even worse. So let's count it from March. But since that time, this team has already created 12,000 customers. And I'm not talking about the total number, I'm talking about the active number as of today. So that's a magnificent achievement. Well done to everyone. The monthly credits volume is mostly sitting around 150,000 credits, which is a great first year achievement. We do have 2 months left, so obviously it can go even higher, or actually 3 months left. So it can go even higher than that, especially on the customer number. I think If we do a good closing of the month, let's see, we'll get to 15,000 customers by the end of the month. So we'll add 3,000 in the next 6 days. I mean, we're 86, 87 people here. There is obviously some that are not listening in, probably be a couple of hundred seeing the recordings. And then you have the teams that speaks different languages that isn't like online with us. So I would say it's fairly realistic to bring in 500 customers per day in the next few days. That's fairly realistic. But if we miss completely, let's say it's 13 and a half, still a good upgrade from today. But even more so, I think that if you can go from 0 to 12,000 in 10 months, I do believe that you can go from 12,000 to 60,000 in the next year. And that's the number that you should pay attention to. Because if we're going to add another 48,000 customers in the next 12 months, how many of those do you want in your team? And this is where you shouldn't be like British polite. I know there is some Brits here, so should not be British polite on this one. You should be a little bit more American. Just grab whatever you can grab of it. Okay, I had to get Artie on that one. Okay, sorry, I had to get him on that one. It was too tempting. I fell into temptation. Please forgive me. But I think that you should make a decision right now that if that's what the team is going to grow with, and obviously there is no limit, you could go out and make something dramatic in your own business in the next 12 months. So by the time we end November next year, where do you want to be? And I think that most things that we do in life start with a decision. That decision is either unconscious or is conscious. A lot of things that we do in our life is based on unconscious decisions. What do I mean by that? An unconscious decision is that somebody else suggested, or it was just what we were taught in school, or this is the culture I grew up in. Have you ever heard that? I am like this because of the culture. That's an unconscious decision. You did not think through it, you just adapted. Or it comes from parents, from siblings. Some people have great decisions that are unconscious. You got a mentor at an early age that suggested that you could be great. That's an unconscious decision still, but it could be a great decision. But most of those unconscious decisions brings you to what I call the status quo of your society. So you're where you are and you're in the middle. I come from Norway. It's the example of the middle class. So the Scandinavian countries, we're middle class, middle class, middle class, middle class. We don't know of any other classes. Everyone is in the middle, and you say, how is that possible to have middle without the bottom and without a top? Just come to Scandinavia, you'll figure it out. Yeah, that's a joke on ourselves here. But very often those unconscious decisions leads to, if you do that in Zinzino, it leads to a diamond or a director. Well, that's great because that might be a great upgrade if it's a side hustle. Sometimes the unconscious decision, if you're in the team and the team aren't going that well, it leads to an A team, which is great. I love A team, but it's not performing where you could have performed if you made a conscious decision. So, conscious decision is when you sit down and you think and you go through what you really want, you go through what you think is possible, you go through what you would have done if everything was possible, if there was nothing that could stop you from doing it, and then you make a conscious decision of setting a goal. So because this team is going to 60,000, I've now just suggested to a lot of you to make an unconscious decision on where you want to go. because it's going to grow a lot. And everyone goes, okay, if I just follow the team, I will do better than most other Zinzino teams, because most other Zinzino teams in 2025 will grow somewhere between 20% and 100%. So very few teams will grow 200, 300, 400, 500. So you're in an incredible position already. So just being around this team, you'll perform better than most. But if you move into a conscious decision where you say, okay, I'm going to set a goal and then I'm going to do one thing more. I'm going to follow the system that all the super achievers in the world is following. I'm going to make a plan to reach my goal. So maybe you set a 10-year goal, a 5-year goal, a 3-year goal, a 1-year goal, and then you break it down 6 months, 3 months, and then eventually into monthly goals as we go around. But then you make a plan at least for the upcoming 12 months. And then when you look at that plan, you say, okay, so I'm going to plan it and then I'm going to do it. So you do a plan and then you execute on the plan. And then you got to have check marks inside of that plan. That's why I broke it down 6 months, 3 months, 1 month. I like to break it down into 1 week plans. Sometimes, like these next 6 days, I'd have daily to do plans, okay? Because we got to put in so much volume in such short period of time. But on a weekly goal, if you're building the business, I would say mini cap. So that's the plan for the week. So the goal for the week is the mini cap. The plan for the week is then to produce 200 new credits on the left, 200 new credits on the right. And if I do that, that could come in through partner recruitment or customers in the team or personal customers. So every week I make a new plan on how I reach the mini cap as an example. And then on Thursday morning, I check, did I achieve? And if you didn't achieve, you adjust the plan for next week and you try again. Then at the end of the month, you check. And then if you didn't reach what you wanted to reach, you adjust. If you reached and you're on target, there is no real reason to adjust the plan because you're on a growth path of 500% or more for a year, which is absolutely incredible anyways. And then at the end of the quarters, when 3 months have gone by, you check and you adjust the plan and you make a better plan if it has not brought you to where you want to go. The plan should involve personal recruitment, customer recruitment, your own cabs, and your rank advancements during that period of time. And not always can we achieve a rank. Sometimes we have to just say, I want to reach this number of credits or this number of customers in balance, which was what I referred to in the beginning. So it's fully possible if you're on this call to say that next year in November, I'm going to have 12,000 because Art is sitting here. He's got 12,000. That was less than 1 year. I think we'll have more than 15,000 when we close the full 12 months. So based on that, I think it's very realistic that we could go to 60,000. That's a 4x. A 5x would be 75,000. So very realistic next 12 months. But you could set out to do something like that. Well, if you have no competence in direct selling, maybe it's a little bit tougher. But if you do have some competence and you have built something large before, maybe the goal is too soft. This was by all means a getting started year with a lot of challenges, a lot of retraining, and also for Zinzino, 2024 has been a good year, but it's not been a brilliant year. We had to do a lot of adjustments. We still have done a few adjustments, but coming into 2025, it's not only that you're getting ready and that this team is getting ready. It's also that Zinzino is really getting ready. I think when we close out December 31st, we'll be somewhere around $220 million in sales, depending on the exchange rate to the Swedish kroners keeps going up and down. So this is based on a 10 kroner per dollar exchange rate. If this changes, then my numbers kind of get like messed up because of exchange rate. But the same number in Swedish kroners, that won't change, which would be about 2.2 billion Swedish. Uh, and that makes us a company established in 47 different countries. And it makes us in a power position, especially in Europe. In Europe, we start getting to have a recognized spot in multiple countries. We become a very attractive company. But just in the last couple of months, we've seen all of a sudden we start growing in India out of nowhere. We started growing in Taiwan. I mean, I think Taiwan added like 10,000 customers in the last 6 months or something like that, like out of nowhere. Like we were not expecting that. While Cherry Lee, our president from Australia, she was dreaming about that, but we were not expecting it. Okay, so it seems like we're getting more recognized, more ready in Asia. So if you have contacts over there, it's going to be easier to build there than before. And then I must say that Latin America and US, like even though we're tiny, we're absolutely on fire in those markets. I mean, it's going better. It's first time it's going better over there than in Europe. And think about that. We've done like 1.5 million, pretty much. It's not quite there, but close to 1.5 million tests in Europe. And then we've done less than 50,000 tests in Latin America and the US. That's a gap. Could you see that? That's a gap. Even if it was just 1 million in Europe, it's still a big gap. And traditionally, if we're well established through a larger market of population in the Americas than we have in Europe. Europe is about 400 million people. And just between Mexico, US, and Canada, which were already fully open, it's more people than that in that marketplace. It's about 500 million people. Plus, we've got Colombia, Dominican, we're opening Peru, we're establishing pre-launch in Panama, and we've got so many things going on. I won't go into all of that. It's too much to talk about. Uh, but normally that should like just catch up. You get it? So it's like if you can do 200 million or 180 million in Europe, we can do that over here. And it's not like it's going to take 10 years or 20 years, which it kind of took us in Europe, or 19 years in Europe. It's going to take like 19 months or 20 months or 25 months. So it's going to go very, very quickly. When that mentality comes, I can't accept that, like if you bad analogy, okay, so I'm gonna get like bad analogies here. I've already made unfriended Art here with joking with him, and I've unfriended the British and so on. But if you're sitting in the US, you're a top networker, you've built teams into the millions, and then you peek over and you see that the Czech Republic is doing more volume than you. You're like going, Czech Republic, where was that? No offense to anybody from Czech. I love the Czech. I love Prague, and I know where it is. But you're sitting over there, you don't even know where it is. They are doing more volume than us. What's up with that? I mean, that's not right. And then you discover that Germany is doing like 4 times your volume, and you go, the Germans are doing 4 times more than us. This is not right. That's what I call the catch-up effect. It's like when people come in with a mentality, see, I talked about culture, I talked about the unconscious goals that we set, and that's typically an unconscious decision that is made by a large group of people at the same time that creates a movement of catching up. And I believe that's very much going to happen, not fully by 2025, but I think by 2026 we're going to see the numbers on that side of the ocean get really close to the numbers on this side of the ocean. I live in Oslo. I'm in Oslo right now. And then by 2027, 2028, we're going to see in Asia that they catch up with the same numbers that we're doing in Europe and in America. So that's Zinzino getting ready. And there are specific things that makes us ready for us. One is that test-based is becoming mainstream. So no, I did not say that it is mainstream, but it's not a rare, crazy invention anymore. Like when I was sitting with a test like this on Zoom in 2012 and Zoom didn't exist. Okay, so you're seeing how fast something can happen. Like literally when we launched this didn't exist, or it was not common at all. It probably did exist in a beta version, but it wasn't common. But that became common because of the pandemic. We all got onto an online platform, made my life better, made your life better, made my life a little bit less social, but I was so social, so that was probably for the better. Some of you want to join this, you get out to live meeting, get a little bit more social again too. So it's a two-way street on that part. But this is not a rare invention anymore. So people aren't like hyper skeptical anymore. Because first of all, if you go to Grok or you go to any of the AI engines and you ask about Zinzino, that will answer you about the test. If you do like a chat GPT, if it's smart to get your nutritional scores tested, it agrees that it's smart to do it. If you talk to people in the Omega science profession, they are now starting to believe in these kind of things. Like when I first came with a test, even people that manufacture a product were laughing of me on Iceland. They did not understand why anybody would be so dumb that they would want to find out that number, the most important number. Uh, so we're not mainstream, but we're not a rare invention. We're coming close to where it goes from invention to trend. That will happen maybe 26, 27, 28. At one point, we go from invention to trend. And inside of specific communities of sports, we've already crossed over from where it's a trend. Inside of specific nutritional communities, we've already tipped over. Inside of the profession of network marketing, we've not tipped over yet, but that's what I think could happen in 2025. The test-based nutrition, the companies in network marketing read Zinzino as being most of it, a large part of it. We are getting some healthy copies out there. I love copies because they help us promote our mission. But inside of that profession of network marketing, I think that we're going to be trend setting from next year. So we're going to cross the 2.5% of the network marketing community have tested or know so much about it that they're ready to get tested. So it's not a rare invention. It's starting to become trendy. Now, when do you want to be with a network marketing company? You want to be with it just on the beginning of the trend. You want to ride the trend, and then you want to cross over into mainstream. And by the time we become mainstream in network marketing, that is about when we become crossing from invention to trend in the main society. So this is one trend or one momentum leading to a rapid growth. That's why we're so focused on partner recruitment. Rapid growth of the organization to then eventually society catching up with network marketing. And then the big boom comes, which I don't know where it will take us. But in my goals, which I PDCA on all the time, it's 100 million customers by 2050. So that's 40 billion euros in sales. And if the euro and dollar is about even, it's $40 billion in sales as well. Which if you are in a company like that, what kind of long-term goals should you set? Because then anything becomes possible. 100,000, 500,000, a million, 2 million, 5 million customers is possible for you within that. On the product selection, there is also things happening. First of all, we've got to development program. We're going to launch a new test next year, or at least I hope we will be ready with it. It's going to be groundbreaking inside of gut health, so won't go too much into that. But I do think that with a collagen boost, which is like Black Friday offering on collagen boost, it's in stock. It's not run out today. We might have it in stock tomorrow. So if you order now, you get your boost. If you wait for Thursday, we will be out again for another week. So that's the Black Week promotion on Collagen Boost. But it's incredible the results that we create in 10 days. You can see the difference. It's so visual, it's so dramatic that there is no one that doesn't want the product. Now, why is this interesting? For many reasons, because this could be, let me show you what we can do. Let me show you how to lose 10 years in 10 days, or this will have you appear 10 years younger in 10 days. And that's an easy sell, because most people would like to see that happening. Now, obviously not 100%, but a large number of people would want to do that. And then you can say, as this is fundamental, and you then actually got 10 days to sell this. Let me show what this can do in 4 months with a proven result in your blood works. And then this is going to keep you 10 years younger for the rest of your life. And if you add to it the Cinebiotic and extend, we're going to do a multiple, we're going to do a renewal of your inside in a 4 months period of time. And it's going to be absolutely dramatic. It's going to impact your health for the rest of your life. I think that quick offering together with the best science that is out there is going to catch attention, and it's going to accelerate the decision making. And now if decision making is accelerating, then sales goes a lot faster. So for 2025, we've got big plans. We're going mainstream, not going mainstream, but we're going trend setting in network marketing. We're celebrating 20 years. There is going to be a lot of noise, a lot of campaigns. You're in a team that has grown from 0 to 12,000 customers in 10 months, going to go up at least 5x during the next years. You're in this fast growing team that is exciting to be a part of. And then on top of all of those things, we've got products that are groundbreaking in new areas that we haven't been in, which are very visual and very quick to share. I think all of these factors combined together is going to accelerate our business a lot. So if you suggest to yourself that you can do it, that's actually setting a goal. And you repeat that goal to yourself again and again and again and again, then it becomes what I call an auto-suggestion, meaning that it becomes you. You are the person that can make this happen. That is when it really does happen. So I hope that you're getting some out of this. I'm excited for the upcoming year. I'm excited for this team. I'm excited for everything that Artie is doing and every one of his leaders is doing in Spain and in Italy and the UK and US, and we've also got some in Germany and in France and probably a bunch of other countries that I didn't mention that is listening in and say, why didn't he mention me? Well, put 1,000 customers in your country and I'll be talking about you all the time. Okay, so set that goal and then you will hear from me. Become diamond, become director, and you will be the story that we talk about. But just quickly before I give it back to Artie, and I got to jump to our 9 o'clock conference anyways, you're getting the word in 20 seconds. Right now, it's not about the next year. Right now, it's about the next 6 days, because in the next 6 days, you can create more happening than you've done until today, this month. If you close out this month by doubling the credits volume that you have today till the end of the month, you've done an amazing job. If you double by Wednesday, and then double again, then you've got done something impossible and you made something incredible possible. So go full out, share the offering with absolutely everyone. That's my recommendation. Thank you. Back to you, Artie.